What's up, y'all? Some big news coming from the NBA. JJ Redick has just been hired by the Lakers after a month and a half of them debating who their head coach is going to be and trying to figure out what their best position would be to be contenders next season. And so, JJ Redick, he got hired 4 years. Darvin Ham just got fired, obviously, after their playoff run this season, where I believe they lost in the first round. And obviously, before JJ, there was also some interest for Los Angeles and Dan Hurley, who decided to stay with UConn. Something that, if I was him, I'd honestly do the same thing. I'm not moving across. I'm not going to move halfway across the country to live in California and get paid $13 million. Which, I mean, that's a lot of money, but if you consider taxes and all that, I feel like he'd get the same amount, if not more, at UConn, where he's been very successful. But going back to JJ, um, obviously has a great relationship with LeBron. They created the Mind the Game podcast, which if you guys have not watched yet, it's really good. They go into analytics. They go into basically different sets that NBA teams run, what JJ Redick runs, what LeBron runs, and how they work in games and in the NBA and how they're effective. But anyway, so obviously JJ and LeBron have been friends for a while. JJ is a very smart basketball guy. He knows a lot. He knows a lot what he's talking about. He knows how to break down the game very well, and he knows how to dissect a team, which I've seen in the Mind the Game podcast, especially where they would break down the Mavericks and the Celtics, and they basically just went player by player and talked about how each one affects the series. Well, not player by player, but they just broke down how they played, and yeah, they basically said the Celtics will win the series, and they were correct. I'm going to talk about the positives and negatives. So, positives, why it's a good hire. This is a great hire, in my opinion, because JJ Redick is a younger coach, and he's a very personable guy. And if you look at Frank Vogel, for example, when the Lakers won in 2020, he had a very, in my opinion, he looked like he had a hands-off approach, and it was very player-led. And so this allowed, and he also built relationship with players, which I think JJ is really good at. But the player leadership allowed for their team chemistry to go up and allowed for overall success, as we saw in the 2020 bubble playoffs. But I mean, hiring JJ here, I feel like this is really good for the Lakers because you're basically confirming LeBron's coming back, no matter if they draft Bronny or not. And I mean, they can still draft him. They have picks 17 and 55. 17 may be a little high for Bronny, but they can definitely trade down and get him in the late first round. And I feel like this could definitely be a domino effect to get Bronny. Okay, so why it's a bad hire? In my opinion, this bad hire obviously because JJ does not have a lot of experience. His only experience, I believe, is coaching his AAU Suns team, which is not a lot of experience. But I mean, he's been around the best coaches in the world. He's played under Doc Rivers, who definitely although he doesn't have much playoff success other than the 2008 Celtics run, I believe, he still knows a lot of basketball from being under all the coaches he has in his decade long, I mean, 15 plus year long career, probably. I don't have the exact stats up, but I mean, if I'm the Lakers, I like hiring JJ Redick because you just know that you're going to get a lot of experience and you're going to get a lot of playoff experience that, you know, you may not need because you already have LeBron and Anthony Davis, but it definitely helps. Going back to why I think it's a good hire, I also think it's a great hire because I think JJ meshes well with LeBron and Anthony Davis and how they play, and I think that JJ Redick can kind of play to the Lakers' strengths very well, and I don't think that Darvin Ham did that well. I think Darvin Ham was very, he got mocked for this on social media and stuff, but he wasn't really coaching them, I don't think. I mean, he was coaching them, but he wasn't very confident with how he talked. And I think that JJ can be, I think he's going to be a lot more confident, especially considering that he's a retired NBA veteran with a lot of playoff experience. And I think JJ is still hungry to win an NBA championship. I don't think he ever won one in his career. So definitely hiring a guy like JJ to try and compete for a championship is definitely positive because he just has that will and that hunger to work hard and come in and day out to try to achieve their goal. Okay, going back. So why I think this might not be a good hire. So obviously you're committing to JJ for 4 years. I know the money's not released yet, but committing to a rookie head coach for 4 years is definitely like saying a lot in my opinion, or kind of putting a lot of faith into him. And I bet 100% that LeBron's the main reason why JJ got this 4 year contract, and so now he's locked up in LA for even past LeBron retires unless he plays for another 4 seasons, which would be insane. But I mean, he could do it. I wouldn't be sad. So the big question here really is, can the Lakers win with him? And in my opinion, I think that they can. I think they can win definitely farther than what they did this year, considering Darvin Ham was a coach. I mean, he was there. He was kind of on the sideline, but he didn't really do anything. But I think if you have JJ, I think he can allow for better relationships to be built with the players, and I think that that's very important because I think that with LeBron and Anthony Davis, you have all the talent in the world. It's really just coming down to the fact that you don't have that chemistry so that everyone plays with each other well. And I think that, especially considering that Frank Vogel won with them in 2020, I think that JJ can definitely help them. And I think that, he's also going to be very beneficial towards running different sets for different guys. And like I said before, he's going to be really good at, playing through different people's strengths. So, for example, I think that we might see a lot of LeBron James and Anthony Davis pick and roll where LeBron's making a lot of decisions, hitting Anthony Davis in the short roll where he can make decisions there as well. And, obviously free agency hasn't started yet, but once it does, I think that JJ Redick and the management over in LA, I forget who their GM is, but I think that they're going to start, adding some more depth pieces. They're probably going to add some more shooters to add around LeBron. I know KCP could come back. He's a free agent this year, so definitely could happen, and it definitely would be interesting, but I guess we'll see. So, yeah, I mean, if the Lakers make the right moves in free agency, I think that they definitely have a really solid shot at making it to the NBA Finals again, possibly even winning it. We might be stretching a little bit too far right now because the season hasn't started yet. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm happy that JJ got a job. The only reason why I'm sad is because we're not gonna have him on the sideline or reporting in ESPN anymore. And I think that he was probably the most entertaining out of everyone on the broadcast. I thought that his analysis and insights were very good. But yeah, past that, I mean, JJ to LA. I guess we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys check out all my links. And yep, I'll see you guys next time.